Oh my goodness, everybody. This new chapter of Dragon Ball Super, chapter 61, I believe. What even just happened? I'm at a loss for words as to what exactly happened. I was originally going to do a video talking about the spoilers, but it wouldn't really make sense to talk about the spoilers because the spoilers came out and then like the next day the chapter came out. So I was like, I'll just wait for the actual chapter to come out so I can actually talk about the main things that happened. And there are two main things that happened within this, and we're going to go straight into it. I am not going to lag whatsoever. The two things that actually happened. Our Vegeta's new technique is finally revealed. We finally get to see what the new technique actually is and what it's called. And the second thing has to do with Moro and his new transformation. So to kick things off, we are going to talk about Vegeta's new technique because the main thing about this whole chapter was basically looking at the Vegeta versus Moro fight as well as the conclusion of the fight. And we finally get to see what Vegeta's new technique that he learned and Yardrat actually was. But before I actually get into it, I do want to mention something, which was Goku. Goku, when Vegeta was actually doing this technique, Goku stated, "You learned that from the Yardrats." So this is basically saying that Goku actually knew about this technique when he was in Yardrat, but he didn't necessarily master it to the actual extent that Vegeta did. And Vegeta actually turned around. He's like, "Yep, this is the technique I learned." And the technique that Vegeta learned from the Yardrats is called Forced Spirit Fission. Now, what does this technique actually do? Well, from the looks of things from the actual manga, it looks like every time Vegeta actually manages to land a hit on Moro, whether it be a punch or a kick, a lot of the energy that Moro actually sucked in from all the planets that he had actually been a part of, all of that energy seems to be forming into a ball, and Vegeta gets this ball and he disperses that energy back to the original planets that Moro actually sucked it out in. Now, how do we know this? Well, it's because of the fact that a lot of the energy is actually going back to the planets such as Namek and even the main head honcho of the Yard Rats. He's like, "Yep, Vegeta actually managed to learn the technique and he's using it, at its full effect." Now, the thing that's kind of crazy is I don't know if this technique is just for the fact that he could take this power and disperse it back where it came from, or if he could actually get this power and put it within himself. That's what a lot of people are speculating, that Vegeta used it in one way when he could have just given himself all of that energy and made himself really, really powerful. But I don't necessarily know about that. But what I do know is that he actually has the ability to actually get all of that energy that was sucked out by Moro and send it back to the planet. And obviously, when Vegeta was actually doing this, it actually made Moro revert back to his original state where he's kind of like frail. He has his beard, like he's really old again. It's kind of like the whole Cell thing when Gohan punched Cell and he spit out Android 18, how he went back to his semi-perfect state. That's kind of what happened to Moro here, and this is where Moro's new transformation comes in, which in my opinion, what even just is this? His new form comes from him escaping. Presumably, he just ran away from Vegeta and he went to his two henchmen. I don't know what the spiky haired little ball is called. And then 7-3, the hit looking robot type of guy. I think he's a robot. I'm not necessarily too sure. He went to both of those. He stuck out his hand. He beamed the small spiky guy and he absorbed him. And then within the next panel, we see in full effect, like a visual representation of Moro eating 7-3. He ate one of his henchmen and he actually fused with him. Like, the new look that he has is completely different to what his full power state actually looked like. Like, within, I don't even remember how it actually looked. I believe when he actually did it, he has like Moro's body but 7-3's face, and then with like the hordes. It's such a crazy design, and for Neverworld put it best. He literally stated that that looks like a Xenoverse character, like a created character, and he's not lying. It's literally like this new Moro could literally be the final boss of Xenoverse 3 if Xenoverse 3 ever comes out. Like, this design, in my opinion, it looks pretty crazy. It does look like a created character, but for some reason, for some small reason, I'm kind of digging it. And that's basically like literally everything we learned within this whole manga thing. There really wasn't any extension to anything. It was just Vegeta's new technique, Moro's new transformation, and that was basically it. And in my opinion, this chapter kind of lacked, and I do have some gripes about it. The one gripe that I do want to talk about is the fact that this new technique that Vegeta actually learned from the Yard Rats, I find it to be quite useless if it's not against an opponent like Moro, because this power obviously lets you suck out the energy that the actual other individual absorbed, making them weaker. There really isn't that many foes that we know about that we actually use that power. The only other one being Majin Buu, which I will talk about shortly. So when it comes to characters like Jiren and Broly, this new technique that Vegeta literally learned is basically useless. Like, he's gonna have to go back to square one basically if he wants to beat those people. When it came to learning a new technique, I thought he was gonna like find a technique to actually overpower Moro, not make him weaker. So I mean, it's a cool thing that he has this technique up his sleeve now. Who knows if he learned more from the Yard Rats, but for this to be his main ace technique now, it's kind of weird. Like, it's going to be very, very subtle when they actually use this technique now. Like, when are they going to fight another villain like this? And if they do find another villain like this, then yeah, it'll be really useful. But at the same time, like, it's not necessarily that useful. And the reason I have another gripe with this is the fact that Goku knew about this technique. Like, he literally told Vegeta, oh, that's what you learned. So if Goku knew that this technique existed, why didn't he learn this technique back when he was actually facing Majin Buu? Because when it came to Majin Buu, we know that Super Buu absorbed Buu, Gotenks, Gohan, and all of those characters. Why didn't Goku go to Yard Rat, learn that technique, and go back to defeat Majin Buu? Majin Buu could literally have been defeated so much quicker. Like, obviously, yes, they did go inside Majin Buu and they did rip out every other character, but I feel like if they would have known this technique, that could have saved them a lot of trouble in the long run. Like, they wouldn't have to have fused to make Vegito. They wouldn't have to go through that whole sequence of going inside and taking everyone out. Like, they could have literally just separated the whole absorbed characters out of Majin Buu. Like, this is such a useful technique that could have been really, really well implemented within the Majin Buu arc. And for some reason, this is just stupid Super Goku who just doesn't know. You know what I mean? Like, in my opinion, that doesn't necessarily make sense. Like, if Goku knew about this technique, he should have just instantly remembered it when he was back in, the Buu arc and went with the Yard. I don't even know why. But at the end of the day, that's Vegeta's new technique. But like I stated, I kind of wish that they just made a technique that made Vegeta stronger rather than make his opponent weaker. But that's, if he could be, he literally just smacked Moro at this point. Like, Moro just couldn't do anything to Vegeta. Vegeta, even as Jocko, like, just put this guy in jail already. He's defeated. And then, Jocko's like, no, just kill him. Like, they were at the point of killing Moro before he went and he actually absorbed 7-3 on the spiky dude. So I don't know what they're going to be doing with this arc anymore. I honestly thought this was going to be like the final fight, but seeing how Moro absorbed 7-3 and the spiky little ball dude, I'm guessing there's going to be more. I doubt Vegeta's actually going to be getting the win at this point, because I'm guessing now Moro is just too powerful for them to do anything. Who really knows? When it came to this manga chapter, I was just whatevs about it, because I was just so disappointed at the fact that this is Vegeta's new ace technique. They could have done so much more, but it just gave him a power that could just suck out energy from other people. I mean, that's pretty cool, but at the same time, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, what did you guys have to say about this chapter? Did you guys like it? Did you not like it? Do you like Vegeta's new technique? Do you not like Vegeta's new technique? Like, what are you guys' overall thoughts and opinions on this chapter? And what do you guys think, finally? How do you guys feel about Moro's new design? Do you guys feel like it's a cool design? Do you feel like it's too created character, Xenoverse style-esque? Like, what do you guys think about the design? Because like I stated, for me personally, I kind of dig it, but I could see when people would say that it looks like a created character. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I just wanted to make it a really, really quick video. Hopefully if it dragged on for too long, but I just wanted to get the main points straight out the bat. If you guys do enjoy this type of content, make sure to leave a like, as well as subscribe for future Dragon Ball as well as other anime related videos. And yeah, everything else in terms of my other social medias, like my art Instagram, my Twitch, because I am streaming a lot on Twitch now, as well as my Discord, are in the description below. Make sure to check all of those out if you guys are interested in watching me play games on stream on Twitch. If you guys are interested in my anime drawings, I like doing Dragon Ball drawings, as well as if you guys want to join my Discord. But yeah, I'm not going to take too much of your guys' time anymore. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out, y'all.
Playtime, so that's what I was thinking. It's the biggie. Go to hell! What the hell's this power?
Now my body should be warmed up.
Vegeta!